I think exec presence and personal branding are two sides of the same coin. Because exec presence is not just about how you appear to the higher levels of the organization. It's about how you carry yourself on a day-to-day basis.
What are your views on executive presence, right? What would you say to mid-career managers? How do they sort of establish that and what do they need to do?
Yeah, the way I think about this is I think exec presence and personal branding are kind of two sides of the same coin. Because exec presence is not just about how you appear to the higher levels of the organization. It's about how you carry yourself on a day-to-day basis. And I think that translates into how you come across, right? So let me touch upon that a little bit. And I call it the ABCs of personal branding, right? Attitude, behavior, and credibility. I think these are three components that are very, very important on building a personal brand. And hence, as you step forward into various scenarios, how do you come across? Like I said, managing top down is kind of a dead concept. To be seen as a credible leader in the organization means that it's not just about exec presence as in you presenting to the board of directors or the CEO of the company. It's also about how you appear to your peer group. How do you appear to people, lower down in the organization from where you are? And how do you appear not just internally to the company, but also externally? Because every company operates in a network of ecosystem. And you have to be able to manage all of these pieces to be effective. So let me kind of double click on it a little. When I talk about ABC, attitude is the first one, right? Be positive and optimistic. I think nobody wants to be around somebody who's a thrill. None of us want to be around such people, right? You may sound, it's irrespective of what the situation is. You don't want to be coming across as a person who's constantly complaining, who's constantly seeing the glass half empty rather than full. Sure, everybody has frustrations, right? I mean, every one of us has our own nits and picks and all that kind of stuff. But I think it all comes down to how do you convert? What do you do with it? You can do a few things. You can either try to change the situation around you from where you are, or change yourself, change your situation completely, right? I mean, all of us have choices. And what choice do you want to pick up? And in doing that, keep it at a positive level and optimistic level. Even if you're leaving the company, don't leave it with bridges burnt because we work in a very small world, irrespective of who you are, whether you and I are neighbors, right? You may suddenly run into this somebody in a situation which is not necessarily only professional. So I think you have to be very mindful about how you come across and what attitude you carry. Because, personally, I would hire somebody for attitude over aptitude. Because if somebody shows great attitude to learn, to be positive, to optimistic, I would rather take that person than somebody who comes in with all the skills that are perfect, but has a bad attitude, right? So I think that's why attitude becomes the number one. Second is behavioral, right? Are you humble? Are you authentic? Are you grateful? Are you composed in tough situations? How do you come across? Because I think those are important. If you want to build, credibility with people around you, you need to be that, right? Everything can't be about yourself. That's why I said, one metric is how much are you doing to help other people improve around you? How much are you helping them, get better? Even if the spotlight goes on them and not you. I'll tell you 99% of the time, there's positive, feedback that comes back to the person who's doing that, even if they are not the front and center and the spotlight and everybody's only looking at them. It doesn't matter. So behavioral traits matter a lot when you think about personal branding and exec presence, because I think that builds authenticity. And authenticity is very important because you need to be who you are, right? And people need to be able to see that and it's transparent. The third is credibility. Are you driven by a set of values? Are you authentic? Again, authenticity coming back from a credibility perspective, building credibility. And are you trustworthy? Do you say what you will do and do you follow up and do it, right? Are you dependable and trustworthy? So I think these three things, attitude, behavior, and credibility, forms the underpinnings of this. Everything else gets built around, right? Your ability to communicate, your ability to bring different perspectives, points of view, like I mentioned, bringing all of that together. And I think that makes, are you a great conversationalist? Can you tell a story? There's a lot more discussion nowadays about storytelling. Can you really tell a story? Can you weave things, disparate points, and create a cogent story out of it and be able to communicate?